I literally said, this was literally as the game was going on. I literally said, why to watch out for the number 31? Because in Gematrian, Chiefs equals 31. It just so happens that the final box score was 31. They happen to win with 31 points. So as I'm saying that, again, I'm like, these games are rigged and scripted. They do this shit all the time. Again, you just watch the National Fixed League, you'll just see how fixed all these games are. And I was also talking about how they had Post Malone up there giving a performance, right? I was talking about how it's not an accident to have Post Malone up there. Got the 7-4 birthday. And he's born July 4th, 7-4, which is this nation's birthday. In Gematrian, Independence Day equals 74. Jewish, what he is, he's Jewish. Jewish 74. Rapper 74. Dallas Cowboy 74. Holiday equals 74. I was talking about this. And what they got out of that, right? Even though they just see what I just literally said right before the game was played, they said that was schizophrenia, and that was, pretty much, I had been suffering from mental illness because these games could possibly not be fixed. Because again, it's all schizophrenia. I had one of these fucking idiots. They're like, oh, well, you have 4 ciphers. You can make anything equal anything. Again, just stupid ass talking points, just really dumb ass talking points. No kind of critical thinking. The light bulb didn't go off in their head that, oh, maybe Rich is on something. 31. He just got done talking about 31 Chiefs with the Chiefs, and just coincidentally just happens to be a 31 on the final box score. But again, didn't resonate with them because they're a bunch of fucking retards. They're a bunch of morons. So everything they got from it was that I'm schizophrenic and that I need to be, I need mental help. That I need mental help. I'm looking for numbers. I was like, are you fucking serious right now? In 2025, I need mental help because you can't see how these games are rigged. You can't see how these games are rigged every night. You guys cannot see how these games are rigged every night. How they have you guys parked on your fat fucking asses. Because keep in mind that the cousin that was making this remark, he's about 500 fucking pounds, telling me shit. It's like, hey, fat motherfucker, you need to shut the fuck up and take your own fucking advice. You know what I mean? So that was that. It was me and my girlfriend there. It just things got heated. I couldn't be there no more. I had to leave. So I just left. I didn't even eat. I just left.
Apophenia, the general human tendency to perceive meaningful connections or patterns between unrelated or random things, such as objects or ideas, which is a common human experience and not necessarily a disorder in itself. Clustering illusion, a specific cognitive bias where a person mistakenly believes that random events occurring in streaks are non-random patterns. Delusions of reference, a type of delusion where the individual believes that certain gestures, comments, passages from books, or even events related to numbers are specifically directed at them. Misinterpretation of reality. Delusions in general involve a false belief based on an incorrect inference about external reality, which is firmly maintained despite evidence to the contrary in a numerical delusion. This misinterpretation involves numerical information. E.g., believing that a specific sequence of numbers seen on license plates is a secret code, or that mathematical calculations prove a fantastical untrue scenario. Delusion has always been a central topic for psychiatric research with regard to etiology, pathogenesis, diagnosis, treatment, and forensic relevance. The various theories and explanations for delusion formation are reviewed. The etiology, classification, and management of delusions are briefly discussed. Recent advances in the field are reviewed. A delusion is a belief that is clearly false and that indicates an abnormality in the affected person's content of thought. The false belief is not accounted for by the person's cultural or religious background or his or her level of intelligence. The key feature of a delusion is the degree to which the person is convinced that the belief is true. A person with a delusion will hold firmly to the belief regardless of evidence to the contrary. Delusions can be difficult to distinguish from overvalued ideas, which are unreasonable ideas that a person holds. But the affected person has at least some level of doubt as to its truthfulness. A person with a delusion is absolutely convinced that the delusion is real. Delusions are a symptom of either a medical, neurological, or mental disorder. Delusions may be present in any of the following mental disorders: psychotic disorders, or disorders in which the affected person has a diminished or distorted sense of reality and cannot distinguish the real from the unreal, including schizophrenia, schizophrenic disorder, delusional disorder, schizophrenic form disorder, psychotic disorder, and substance-induced psychotic disorder, bipolar disorder. 3. Major depressive disorder with psychotic features. Delirium and dementia. The English word deludu comes from Latin and implies playing or mocking and defrauding or cheating. The German equivalent one is a whim, false opinion or fancy, and makes no more comment than the English upon a subjective experience. The French equivalent, delirium, is more empathic. It implies you're jumping out of the furrow. Little thefts and similar metaphor to the ironical unhinged. Since time immemorial, delusion has been taken as the basic characteristic of madness. To be mad was to be deluded. What is delusion is indeed one of the basic questions of psychopathology. It would be a superficial and wrong answer to this question just to call a delusion a false belief which is held with incorrigible certainty. We may not hope to resolve this issue quickly with a definition. Delusion is a basic phenomenon. It is a primary task to get this interview. The subjective dimension within which delusion exists is to experience and think our reality. Jasper's 1983, whether we like it or not, this is the unavoidable field of tension in which research on delusions is situated. A tight objectivity or to conceptualization on the one hand, and the basic anthropological dimensions of subjectivity and interpersonality, i.e. human interdependence or universal fraternity. Even if one is skeptical about these basic aspects, Jasper's central idea should be kept in mind. Delusion is never a mere object which can be objectively detected and described, because it evolves and exists within subjective and interpersonal dimensions only, however pathological these dimensions may be. This reminds us of a central topic of psychiatric research. There are two fundamentally different approaches to research on complex mental phenomena, be they normal or pathological. The first approach, the naturalistic one, regards the complexity and heterogeneity of scientific means to study delusion as a temporary phenomenon, as a second-best solution. This solution, according to the naturalistic perspective, will only be used until a strictly empirical neuroscientific approach has progressed far enough to replace mentalistic vocabulary with the neurobiological, just view mental phenomena identical or be neurobiological.
I'll say it again, the one thing that I'm on board with is their depopulation plan, because I just see how trash humanity is, and I say I think they are right to flush them all down the toilet. Wipe them out of here, but can't find $1 a month to support the hardest working truth speaker there ever was. Flush it all away. But my support's way down in the last 2 years, undeservedly.